Close your eyes for a second. No radio, no instruments, no language even. Not yet. You're in a limestone cave in what's now southern Germany, 40,000 years ago. Outside, it's an ice age. Wind is cutting through the valley. Inside, someone is holding a hollow bone, and they've cut holes into it, carefully, deliberately. They lift it to their mouth and blow. A note comes out. Not a word. Not a warning cry. A note. And everyone around that fire goes completely still. That moment is the beginning of something we still can't fully explain, because music doesn't keep you alive the way fire or food does. So why did we ever start making it? Here's the honest answer up front. We don't know exactly when music began, because unlike stone tools, sound doesn't fossilize. A hand clap 50,000 years ago leaves nothing behind. What we can date is the instruments, and that's where the story gets genuinely mind-bending. In 2008, archaeologists working in Hohlefels cave in Germany found a flute carved from a griffon vulture's wing bone. 5 finger holes, a mouthpiece, unmistakably an instrument, not a random bone with random holes. It dates to somewhere between 40,000 and 43,000 years ago, making it, depending on how you count competing finds, among the oldest confirmed musical instruments on Earth. The spacing of those holes suggests whoever carved it understood something close to a functioning musical scale. Tens of thousands of years before anyone wrote down a single rule of music theory. Whoever made it didn't just want a tool. They wanted a specific, controllable, repeatable sound. That takes planning. That takes understanding acoustics well enough to space the holes correctly. This wasn't an accident. It was engineering, in service of something with no survival value you can point to on a spreadsheet. Here's something that should stop you in your tracks. 40,000 years ago, these same people were also carving small ivory figurines, painting on cave walls, and burying their dead with ornaments. Music didn't show up alone. It arrived as part of a package, alongside art, ritual, and symbolic thinking, all roughly at once in the same populations. Researchers call this period the moment the modern human mind seems to click into place. And music is right there at the center of it, not a side effect. But the flutes aren't actually the beginning. They're just the earliest evidence we happen to have found and can confidently date. Go back further, and you hit a much stranger sight. Divje Babe Cave in Slovenia. A hollowed cave bear femur with 2, possibly 4, holes punched cleanly through it, dated to roughly 50,000 to 60,000 years ago. Here's the twist. This bone comes from a layer associated not with modern humans, but with Neanderthals. For years, mainstream archaeology dismissed it as bite marks from a hyena gnawing on the bone. But researchers who re-examined the spacing found something a predator's teeth simply can't produce. Holes aligned the way you'd expect for a musical scale. If they're right, Neanderthals may have been making music tens of thousands of years before we were. That possibility changes everything. If music isn't unique to Homo sapiens, it might be something much older, buried in the shared ancestor we split from hundreds of thousands of years earlier. Which pushes the real question back even further. Not when did humans invent music, but when did the capacity for it first appear in our lineage at all? And this is where researchers stop looking at bones and start looking at bodies. Because before there were flutes, there was almost certainly rhythm without any instrument at all. Clapping, stomping, chest slapping, calls that rise and fall in pitch. Every one of those leaves 0 physical trace, which means the true beginning of music could be far older than any artifact could ever prove, possibly reaching back over 1 million years. long before anyone carved a single note into bone. Some researchers argue music and language may have split from a shared root, an early form of communication linguists call musa-language, using pitch and rhythm to convey meaning before grammar and vocabulary existed. Under that theory, humming came before talking, not after. So why would evolution bother? Music burns calories, takes time, and produces nothing you can eat. But researchers studying group behavior found something that reframes the whole question. When people sing or drum together in sync, pain tolerance rises, trust between strangers increases, and stress hormones drop. A hunting party that could synchronize silently through rhythm moved better as a unit. A tribe that could mourn together through sound-processed loss without falling apart. Music wasn't decoration bolted onto survival. In small, physically vulnerable social groups, it may have been part of what let the group survive at all. There's physical evidence for the movement before instruments idea too. At several Ice Age sites in Europe and Africa, archaeologists have found footprint trails some researchers interpret as evidence of dancing. Repeated, patterned marks in ancient mud or ash, consistent with rhythmic group movement rather than simple walking. If that holds, dance may be just as old as any instrument, another trace of the same underlying impulse, using the body itself as the first instrument. There's also a detail that connects music directly back to fire. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups, including the Shuwansi people of the Kalahari, have found that storytelling, singing, and rhythmic performance overwhelmingly happen at night, around a fire, while daytime conversation sticks to practical matters. Firelight seems to switch on a different mode of the human mind, one more inclined towards story and sound. If that pattern held for tens of thousands of years, fire may have created exactly the conditions: safety, darkness, a captive gathered audience, in which music could flourish and get passed down. And there's one more piece of evidence worth landing on before we answer the question: the acoustics of the caves themselves. Researchers mapping decorated Ice Age caves in France and Spain found that the chambers with the highest concentration of paintings also tend to have the best natural acoustics: spots, where a single voice produces unusually strong resonance. Some archaeologists now propose these spaces weren't chosen for painting first and used for sound second. They may have been chosen because of how they sounded, with the art added afterward. If that's true, the earliest known art galleries on Earth may double as some of the earliest known concert halls. The two ideas so tangled together that separating visual art from music may be a distinction that never occurred to the people making both. So when did ancient humans first make music? The oldest confirmed instrument puts a firm marker at around 40,000 years ago. The disputed Neanderthal flute pushes that toward 60,000. And the rhythm underneath all of it, the clapping, the humming, the calls that came before any of that, may reach back far deeper than any artifact could ever confirm, possibly into the very origins of our species and beyond it. Which means somewhere in that cave in Germany, 40,000 years ago, that person lifting a hollow bone to their lips wasn't inventing something entirely new. They were most likely continuing something ancient, something the body already knew how to do, and simply giving it, for the first time we can prove, a shape that could outlast the moment it was played in. And maybe that's the real answer underneath all the dates and disputed bones. Music was never really invented at all. It was already inside us, waiting for someone to find the right shape to let it out. If stories like this, where the first of something turns out to be way older and stranger than expected, are your kind of thing, subscribe, because that's exactly what this channel keeps digging into.